Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. So I'm going to be giving you the talking points from our 2-1 win against PSG yesterday night in the Champions League. So one of the talking points was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's big changes. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer given Axel Tuanzebe a start. It was his first start in 10 months. And Axel Tuanzebe kept Mbappe and Neymar very quiet in the game and made some very, very good interceptions. And I think there's some Manchester United fans now that are saying he should get more opportunities. Solskjaer also gave Alex Telles his debut. I thought Alex Telles was exceptional on his debut, put some good crosses into the box and had some good set pieces. Telles was playing at wing-back. We got Telles on deadline day. We paid just over £15 million for him with add-ons included, and Telles signed a 4-year contract with the club with an option of a further year. And I think more's to come from Alex Telles. But I did say he would be a very good signing for Manchester United. We was out quite a few players. There was a few players out for Manchester United, weren't there? Harry Maguire, he didn't travel to Paris. Eric Bay, he didn't travel. He's out with a muscle injury. Solskjaer's confirmed he's going to be out for 3 to 4 weeks. Mason Greenwood, he also didn't travel. Not because of disciplinary reasons like Solskjaer mentioned, because he's had a niggle. Mason Greenwood has now missed our last 2 games. Edinson Cavani, he didn't travel to Paris because Solskjaer said he needs a few more days training. And it was a shame that Edinson Cavani couldn't play against his former club. I think Edinson Cavani could be making his debut for the game against Chelsea at the weekend. We got Edinson Cavani on a 3 transfer, didn't we? Edinson Cavani signed a 2-year contract with the club worth around 220 grand a week. We are giving him the number 7. Like I said to you, I think Edinson Cavani will be the next Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He was unavailable for the Newcastle game due to COVID-19 restrictions. Jesse Lingard, he also, didn't travel to Paris. Now, another one of the talking points was Bruno Fernandez. Bruno Fernandez was the captain yesterday. And I think we should give him the captaincy permanently because Bruno Fernandez shows fantastic leadership in the team. Bruno Fernandez obviously scored yesterday from the penalty spot. Well, obviously, he missed the first penalty. But then obviously, it had to be retaken because Keylor Navas was off his line. Bruno Fernandez has endured around 9 months with Manchester United. And he's won Premier League Player of the Month quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. He's won some Matt Busby Player of the Year award. A lot of Bruno Fernandez's goals have come from the penalty spot. I think we've had around 33 penalties. Don't forget, Bruno Fernandez recently denied that he had a bust-up with Solskjaer. And Fabrizio Romano confirmed that there was no problem with Fernandez and Solskjaer because there was reports coming out the other week saying that Bruno Fernandez had lost faith in Solskjaer and he was demanding him out of the club, and it said he was infuriated with the board over the lack of signings. But it isn't true. Bruno Fernandez wants to stay at Man United and Solskjaer's obviously backing him. But he's one of the best players we've signed since the Sir Alex Ferguson era, probably the best player we've signed under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. Now, another one of the talking points was Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford scored another late winner in Paris and took his goal very, very well. I thought Marcus Rashford got into some very, very good positions. He got some good runs in behind. He had a good 3 or 4 chances in the game, so he could have had more than one goal. And like I've said to you, I think Rashford has really, really improved under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. You know, Rashford's been part of the club for several years. You know, Rashford's now 22 and he's been with us since the age of 7. So he's been with us around 15 years or so. Rashford's been in our senior squad since 2016. Another one of the talking points was Ander Herrera and Angel Di Maria reuniting with Manchester United. Now, I don't think Herrera and Di Maria had a good game yesterday, to be honest with you. I think we made a mistake by getting rid of Ander Herrera in the summer of 2019 because I thought he enjoyed 5 good years at Manchester United. And don't forget, we had Angel Di Maria under the Louis van Gaal era, didn't we? I think another one of the talking points was David De Gea. Like I mentioned on my match reaction, made some good saves. He obviously denied Kurtzawa from close range in the box. He also made a good save to deny Di Maria, and he also made a good save to deny Kylian Mbappe. I think David De Gea is starting to now get back to his best form because he did well yesterday night. He also did well in the game against Newcastle. And we know anyway that David De Gea is going to remain our number one this season. This season is David De Gea's 10th season at Manchester United. De Gea has made over 400 appearances for the club in all competitions. Over 300 appearances he's made in the Premier League. And he has won everything domestically at the football club, and he has won individual awards reflecting on his good run of performances. But in the last couple of years, he was criticised because he was making a lot of calamitous mistakes. But recently has done really, really well. We paid, was it around £19 million for De Gea from Atletico Madrid back in 2011. David De Gea, at the moment, is the highest paid goalkeeper in the world, and he is the highest paid at the football club. So that is your talking points from the game. I thought Ole Gunnar Solskjaer tactically got it spot on. I think he started with the 5-3-2 formation, and we don't go with that formation a lot. But I knew there was going to be a change of formation because since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer taken over at Manchester United, you know, he's gone a lot with that 4-2-3-1 formation. It hasn't really worked, has it, that 4-2-3-1 formation? But I got to say, very, very good performance yesterday night by Manchester United. Like I said on my match reaction, we deserved to win the game. We was the better team. And we beat one of the best teams in the world because PSG got to the Champions League final last season and they seldom lose at home. You know, we're the first team to beat PSG at their stadium in the group stage since 2004. That's 16 years or so ago now. But we was the underdogs going into the game, wasn't we? You know, we beaten PSG 19 months ago in the last 16 by 3-1. We overcame a 2-goal deficit. So that's twice now Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has beaten PSG as Manchester United manager. From a PSG perspective, they'll be very, very disappointed. You know, when PSG brought Moise Keane on, I think in the second half, they livened up a bit and there was getting some runs in behind and that. PSG did obviously have a few players unavailable. Obviously, Juan Bernat's out for them until March. They had Marco Verratti out, Mario Icardi, Leandro Paredes, he was also not available for PSG. Draxler and Marquinhos were doubts before the game, but obviously they were fit to play. So a good start for Manchester United in Group H. I think we've probably got the hardest group. RP Leipzig is also going to be a tough opponent. They were last season's Champions League semi-finalists. And the other team we've got in the Champions League is Istanbul Başakşehir. But I'm hoping Manchester United can progress to the knockouts of the competition. 2 seasons ago, we progressed to the last 8, but we got knocked out by Barcelona in the last 8. It was 4-0 on aggregate. But yeah, 2 wins on the trot now for Manchester United. And reflecting on this, a lot of pressure has eased off Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because before these 2 games against Newcastle and PSG, Solskjaer was under serious pressure at the football club. And it said, that Ed Woodward is prepared to sack him if things don't improve. But we've got to obviously, give him more time. I also thought Wan Bissaka was exceptional yesterday, like I mentioned on my match reaction. Made some very good tackles, also showed some good attacking intent. Wan Bissaka's rejuvenated himself. He also did very, very well in the Newcastle game. Wan Bissaka scored his first goal for Manchester United against Newcastle, and that was his 50th appearance for the club. This season is Wan Bissaka's 2nd season at Manchester United. We got him in a deal worth £50 million from Crystal Palace last summer. Luke Shaw, he didn't have a bad game, but obviously weren't the best player on the pitch. Luke Shaw threaded that lovely pass through to Anthony Martial to obviously, get the penalty. Like I said, McTominay and Fred deserve a lot of credit. They played very, very well. Like I said, McTominay cut out passes. He blocked runs. He dictated the play very, very well. So I've got to give him a lot of credit. I know I've criticised McTominay before. And Fred, I thought he also had a very, very good game. Very mobile in that midfield. He did lose the ball a few times, I think, but prior to that did very, very well. Fred's been at the club now for a few years. We paid just over £52 million in from Shakhtar Donetsk back in the summer of 2018. Or was it £52 million? Fred's got a contract with us until 2023. Anthony Martial, I don't think he was at his best, Anthony Martial. Obviously, he won the penalty, fair enough. Martial obviously got that own goal that got PSG's equaliser. And Martial, to be honest with you, hasn't enjoyed the best of starts to the season. But I thought last season he was very, very good under Solskjaer. He was also good in his debut season under Louis van Gaal era. Martial's enjoyed over 5 years or so now at Manchester United. Obviously, Martial is unavailable for the game against Chelsea at the weekend because he's suspended. He got sent off in the 6-1 defeat to Tottenham, got given a 3-match suspension. He's served 1 match already, so he's got 2 matches to serve as Anthony Martial. We also saw Paul Pogba come on in the game, and Paul Pogba made an impact when he came on, to be fair. He got the assist for Marcus Rashford's late winner. Don't forget, Riesler triggered that 1-year extension on Paul Pogba's contract. That keeps him at the club until June 2022. Fabrizio Romano recently confirmed this. Paul Pogba could still leave the club, though, next summer, because the other week he made an admission saying that one day his dream is to play for Real Madrid, and Pogba said last year that he wanted to leave Man United because he was seeking for a new challenge, and he was talking a lot about Real Madrid and Zinedine Zidane. Donnie Van Der Beek, he also came on in the game. Didn't do too bad when he came on. Donnie Van Der Beek has not yet made his full debut for the club. He could be making his first start at the weekend against Chelsea, but I think Van Der Beek has enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. We got Donnie Van Der Beek for around £40 million. He signed a 5-year contract with Man United with an option of a further year, and he currently wears number 34 shirt. I heard that there's 3 different roles he can play in. I heard that Solskjaer's considering changing his position and putting him on that left-hand side. And we also saw Daniel James come on in the game yesterday night. But yeah, like I mentioned on Match Reaction, one of the best performances I've seen under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. Now, our next game is Chelsea. That is, I think, Saturday, 5:30 kickoff. Solskjaer made changes in that game from the 2-1 win against PSG yesterday. I'm confident that Harry Maguire, Mason Greenwood and Edison Cavani will all be available for the game at the weekend. Obviously, like I said, Eric Bailly's not going to be available. I'm pretty confident that we can beat Chelsea. I really, really am. We're looking for our 3rd win on the trot. Chelsea, they recently drew with Sevilla 0-0. Now, Manchester United played Chelsea 4 times last season. Solskjaer's already beaten Frank Lampard 3 times as a manager. Because at the opening day of last season, we beat Chelsea 4-0. Beating them 2-1 in the Cup. That was the Carabao Cup. And we're beating them 2-0 in the league at Stamford Bridge. Lampard's beaten Solskjaer once. Because Chelsea beaten us in the FA Cup semi-final last season by 3-1. I expected Chelsea to do better, to be honest with you, because, they made some very, very good signings in the summer transfer window. They obviously, brought the likes of Ben Chilwell in, Kai Havertz, Milan Sarr, Thiago Silva, Mendy. They obviously brought Ziyech in back in February, and they also brought Timo Werner in. And Chelsea have also got some other good players in their team. They've got N'Golo Kante, they've got Danny Drinkwater, they've got that Jorginho, who they've got from Napoli. They've got Azpilicueta, they've got Pedro, Rudiger, I think is a very, very good centre-half for Chelsea. I think they've also got some good young players in their team. They've got the likes of Billy Gilmore, Tammy Abraham, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Mason Mount. He's also a very, very good youngster for Chelsea. Don't forget, Chelsea let Willian go in the summer transfer window because he went to Arsenal on a free. David Luiz, he also went to Arsenal. But it wasn't in this year's summer transfer window, was it? I think, Chelsea did make a mistake by getting rid of Eden Hazard. Eden Hazard obviously went to Real Madrid. Eden Hazard enjoyed around 7 years with Chelsea. This season's Frank Lampard's 2nd season as Chelsea manager. Obviously, last season was his 1st season as Chelsea manager. But reflecting on how long he's been at Chelsea now, he's obviously gained managerial experience. Obviously, Frank Lampard began his managerial career with Derby. But he enjoyed 13 good years as a player for Chelsea, didn't he? But yeah, the preview for the Man United-Chelsea game should be coming up tomorrow sometime. It probably will be tomorrow evening, more than likely. But we've got a tough period coming up. After Chelsea, I think it's RP Leipzig. That's our 2nd game in the group stage. Then we've obviously got Arsenal coming up. I think Everton's also coming up soon. And like I said to you, it's a make or break month for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I do think Manchester United will make more signings in January. Well, I'm hopeful that we can, because I still think Manchester United need a centre-half. We need someone to go alongside Harry Maguire. I also expect Manchester United to sell more players next year. We're obviously looking to offload Jesse Lingard, looking to offload Rojo, Phil Jones, Sergio Romero. Don't forget he's open to leaving the football club. He did actually say towards the end of the summer transfer window that Solskjaer was prepared to sell Daniel James for around £25 million, but our board had a disagreement over this. But like I said to you, throughout the course of the summer transfer window, Solskjaer wasn't backed enough. I don't think any of the managers have been backed enough that we've had since Ferguson retired. We missed out on all of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's priority targets in that summer transfer window. We missed out on a lot of targets in general, didn't we? But like I've said to you, I want Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's managerial tenure to work out at the club, because at the end of the day, he's a club legend. He was a great player for the football club for 11 years. He flourished under Alex Ferguson's guidance. But is he good enough to succeed as a manager? That's the question. Man United is the third club in his managerial career. We know he hasn't got a proven pedigree behind him, but reflecting on how long he's been at Manchester United, he's gained managerial experience. Solskjaer's managed nearly 100 games now for Man United, and he's won over 50 games as Manchester United manager. He's been at the club now for almost 2 years. We appointed Solskjaer in December 2018 to replace Mourinho, and he's been permanent Manchester United manager since March 2019. The main explanation why we give Solskjaer the job permanently was reflecting on what he did in that 3-month period when he was their interim manager. And Solskjaer's just got under 2 years left on his current contract at the football club. But, a few weeks ago, when he was under pressure, there was talks of Mauricio Pochettino coming in to replace him. Like I said, I do like Mauricio Pochettino. He's a good manager. He's well Premier League proven. He's dealt with top players and all of that. But he hasn't won out in terms of silver, and that's my element of concern about him. Pochettino was linked with a managerial role at Man United before Solskjaer got the job permanently in March last year. He said the other week that we was looking at Massimiliano Allegri as an alternative to Pochettino. But like I said, we haven't really got the structure to keep sacking managers, and we've got to give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer the benefit of the doubt. He's won his last 2 games, and we've just beaten one of the best teams in the world. But we've had good periods under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era anyway. We went on a 19-game unbeaten run in all competitions until Chelsea beat us in the semi-final last season. Went on a 14-game unbeaten run in the Premier League until Palace beating us on the opening day, and did well in that 3-month period when Solskjaer was the interim manager. This season is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's second full season at the football club. And obviously, I said he's got to exceed his expectations. I hope we can win trophies under Solskjaer. We need to win the trophy under Solskjaer because we've not yet won out in terms of silverware under him. And I'm hopeful that we can get a top 4 finish this season. Because we want to get back into the Champions League, obviously. But Solskjaer said prior to the start of this season, he was saying he had a lot of confidence going on into this season from where we left off last season, because we did well last season, didn't we? We got qualification for the Champions League. We also finished 3rd, second highest we've finished since the Ferguson era, and we also progressed to 3 semi-finals. Got to the FA Cup semi-final, the Europa League semi-final, and the EFL Cup semi-final. Solskjaer spent over £200 million since he became Manchester United manager. We've also seen a lot of players leave since he got recommended into the club, and I also like the way he has promoted the youth. But, Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since the Ferguson era. We've sacked 3 managers since the Ferguson era, and that was David Moyes, Louis van Gaal, and Jose Mourinho. And in the last 7 years, we've only won 4 trophies. That was the FA Cup under Van Gaal, the Europa League and the League Cup, and the Community Shield under the Jose Mourinho era. But you've had a lot of Manchester United fans, including me, criticising the board. Because obviously, our recruitment policy has been poor for several years. But hopefully in January, Woodward will bring the players in that Solskjaer wants to bring in. Woodward's been with us since 2012, and the Glazers have been with us since 2005. But yeah, I think we've got some good players in our team, like I've said. You've got Rashford, who's very, very good. Martial's good, but he hasn't had a good start this season. Greenwood's very, very good. Brandon Williams is good. He didn't play any part, by the way, yesterday. Williams didn't play any part in the win against Newcastle. What's going to be happening now with Williams, though? Obviously, now that Tellez is into the club, you could put Williams as our backup right back, to Wan-Bissaka. Williams currently wears the number 33 shirt, doesn't he? I think Bay's good, but he's too injury prone, like I said. Tuanzebe, my perception on him yesterday night, exceptional, but I can give you more of a perception on him, if he gets, more chances. And Wan-Bissaka, very, very good. In his last 2 games, Bissaka's been exceptional, but prior to them 2 games, he's been quite poor. He had some bad games towards the end of last season. David De Gea, I know I've criticised him, but in the game yesterday and against Newcastle, very, very good. McTominay, Fred, are they good enough to emulate into world-class midfielders? They've had some good games and they've also had some bad games. They was both very, very good yesterday. Paul Pogba, Solskjaer believes he'll see the best out of him in the next couple of years. That's if he's still at Manchester United. Done well in his last 2 games when he's come on, but hasn't started our last 2 games, has he? I like Matic as well, So there's some good players in that team. So there you go. But Man United not won the Premier League since 2013. So last time won it was in Ferguson's last season. We are the most successful team in Premier League history because we have won 20 titles and 13 of them are Premier League titles. So there you go. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.